Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Scorpio, December 16th to the 31st, 2021. Scorpio, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Magician at our root, and we have the Star. I love that. The Star is also Aquarius energy. So if we have Aquarius within our natal chart, this is going to come through very powerfully as a kind of like baseline of our personality. It's going to come out very powerfully for us. Also, if we have Aquariuses within our lives, these people are going to have a tendency or can shake our foundation more than other people can. So just be mindful of that. It will be good to be mindful of it. So let's look here at our inner self. We have the World and we have the Knight of Cups. So the World opens to us. We are represented by the Cups in the Minor Arcana. We're represented by the Death card in the Major Arcana. We are really kind of battling so much to be able to embrace the world that we want. There's just a sense here of ferocity to us that might even just kind of surprise ourselves. So just be aware. But there's also this sense of I'm holding up what is beautiful and what is right for me. We have the Eight of Swords, and we have the Page of Cups. We're becoming students of our heart, yes, but we also have to get out of our own way, especially mentally. We're going to have a tendency to overthink and overanalyze and just look at it and look at it and look at it and let ourselves be tied into hurt and pain and despair, because there's almost a sense of that's what I deserve. And Spirit's saying here, why? Why would you not deserve the very best? And it moves us to our public arena self. We have Temperance coming through, which is Sagittarius energy. So if we're born on the cusp of with Sagittarius, or we have Sagittarius energy within our natal chart, this comes through very powerfully in the public arena. And we have the Emperor. So the same thing. If we have Aries energy within our natal chart, or we have, Aries energy in our lives, they come through very powerfully in the public arena, just like Sagittarius in our lives. They come through very powerfully. It's very interesting that we have such powerful fire sign energy in our public arena self. So there's going to be a passion and a fire to us that we're really not going to be able to just ignore. This is going to be a time where we need to let ourselves shine. Now let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Queen of Wands. This is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We're going to have to be mindful because we're going to shine so brightly ourselves that people are going to look at this energy and think, I can use it. I can use it. This will be good for me. So the Queen of Wands comes in, and there's just the sense of hidden passion coming forward. And there is the sense that we're going to be very drawn to people who we see as passionate, who we see as fiery, who we see as interesting. And Spirit's saying, okay, yeah, that's good, but don't get pulled into their fire because they will use up all our passion. They will use up kind of like all the firewood that we have to burn and leave us with nothing and be like, yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. You're fine. And it's not going to be okay. And we might not be as fine as they think. Let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And it moves us to determination. This is the solar plexus chakra. Our gut is determined. We are determined to succeed. We are determined to achieve. We are also on this beautiful journey of, the cycle of life, of the death and the rebirth, of the journey of the salmon, right? And the salmon is also a very sacred animal in Celtic traditions and in Native American traditions. So here what we're going to find is that there's something sacred in the journey, in everything that we're having to push against, especially emotionally, everything that has come in our way, that we've run up against. There's a determination to us. And there's also this sense of, in our gut, we know that there's more here. We know that we're stepping into more than we realize. And that's going to be exactly what we want. It's not going to be that we're in over our heads, though sometimes it might feel that way. It's that we're embracing more than we realized we could have. So let's look at this time astrologically. Now, on the 16th of December, we're pretty good. We don't have anything going on astrologically, so we get to start this on the 17th of December. On the 17th of December, we have the Sun semi-sextile Pluto. Now, that's important because we're ruled by Pluto. And so whenever Pluto comes in, astrologically, we have to pay a little bit more attention to it than if it wasn't there. So during this time, we're going to find that this influence is really quite fantastic for us. The Sun semi-sextile Pluto makes us magnetic, it makes us charismatic, it makes us driven and determined. It's almost as if whatever we focus on, we can make it happen. Whatever we want to achieve, we can achieve. And that's going to be absolutely, positively beautiful for us. Now, we have also on the 17th of December, we have the Sun semi-sextile Venus. Now, this is also fantastic energy. It amplifies the vibrational energy of love and moves us towards success. Love and money are going to be on our side on this day, which who doesn't love that? We're also going to find that we are opening to new opportunities, even if the love and money, even if the new opportunities that come our way is only because we're having this self-confidence, we're being determined within ourselves, we're being focused. That's going to be a game changer. On the 18th of December, we have the full moon in Gemini, which we'll be doing a separate video on. On the 19th of December, we have Mercury squared Chiron. Now, this is going to be a time that's a little bit tricky. It's going to enhance our anxiety. It's going to have us worrying, and we have a tendency to do that at our heart anyway. So we're going to have to just be really mindful of this day, kind of circle it on our calendars, because the 19th of December can really make us just feel overwhelmed. We don't want to be misunderstood. That actually seems to be one of the worst things for anybody during this time, but especially for us, if we are misunderstood, if we feel like we have let somebody down, if we take on more responsibilities than we can actually handle, we're not going to say, wow, I bit off more than I can chew. What we're going to say is, I should have done better. And what Spirit is saying to us is stop doing that. Let our fire shine brightly. Also on the 19th of December, we have Venus going into retrograde until the 1st of January. This is going to be a time where love can be a bit challenging. Now, this is going to be more challenging because a Venus retrograde doesn't have to be a big thing at all, but because it is aligned with Pluto and because we're ruled by Pluto, this is going to be a time where things are just more challenging. And it's more challenging for everybody because of its alignment with Pluto. We might feel it a little bit more, just as Libra and Venus will feel it a little bit more because they are Libra and Taurus, there we go, because they are ruled by Venus. So just be mindful of this. Just be mindful that we need to pay attention to our emotions. We need to look at our relationships, what relationships we want in our lives, what relationships we don't want in our lives, really embracing that. On the 19th of December, we also have the Sun sextile Jupiter. Now, this is going to be a powerful time for us because we have the Sagittarius energy right here with Temperance. So this enhances, Sagittarius is ruled by Saturn. So this enhances the energy here. And this is a really great thing to have enhanced, especially in the public arena, because this is good luck. This is luck being on our side. It brings us to a place where we seem like we're moving in the right direction, where we are enthusiastic, when we are self-confident, and where we can really strive for our goals and for what we want. On the 20th of December, we have Mercury semi-sextile Saturn. Now, this energy here is going to be very, very good. We're aligned with being focused. This alignment has us being very focused. Our ability to see the bigger picture is really coming out during this time. We are organized. We are extremely motivated. We want to get the job done. We want to go after and succeed in a very real and very powerful way. We may also have a tendency during this time to obsess over things and just think, oh, well, it just has to be perfect. And until it's perfect, I'm just going to work on it and work on it. And what Spirit is saying is during this time, we kind of need to step away and let some things go, and not everything has to be perfect. Actually, it's going to be better for us if it's not. On the 20th of December, we also have Mercury trine Uranus. Now, this is an amazing alignment. This amplifies the Mercury sextile Saturn, right, which is a really good alignment. But here, we are brilliant and we are creative. We know how to express ourselves. We see what it is that we want. We're also able to really understand the future and kind of see things before they happen. This is us growing psychically. This is us growing intuitively. And that's going to be really important. Don't be afraid of the information that's coming our way. Just stay calm and stay focused on what it is that we want, and we become unstoppable. But if we become overwhelmed with all the information that we're getting, we can just put the brakes on things. So just be aware of that. On the 21st of December, we have the winter solstice, and this is a time where Sagittarius moves into Capricorn. So we're going to be doing a different video on this, but we're going to actually really feel an energy change here on the longest day of the year. On the 23rd of December, the North Lunar Node leaves Gemini and enters into Taurus. This is going to be important because as water energy, we are greatly affected by the air. The air can move the water, and we're also much more greatly affected by the earth that we are cradled by. So remember that the North Lunar Node is the head of the dragon. Gemini is all about questions and curiosities and insights and ideas. So when the North Lunar Node was in Gemini, it was curious and it wanted to understand why. Now that it's moving into Taurus, we want to look at all the questions that we have gathered, and we want to have a solid foundation. We're seeking answers, not just questions, not just knowing and learning and understanding. It's going to be very important here. On the 24th of December, Saturn is squared Uranus. Now, this is, of course, Christmas Eve for all who celebrate. This alignment, it makes us strongly independent, self-aware, and progressive. We are also going to have a real tendency here to kind of internalize things, which is going to make us more creative and spontaneous. So it sounds odd that internalizing things, it's actually not internalizing, it's an inner tension. It makes us more creative and spontaneous. It's like, oh, you have to go, you have to see, you have to do. There's just going to be a need here. We also have a very strong sense of responsibility and really appreciate stability, structure, and tradition. And that's going to be really fun for us, that we are, embracing traditions on this day. It's Christmas Eve. We can be making some new traditions. This is going to be something that really brings us joy. On the 25th of December, Christmas Day for all who celebrate, Venus is going to be conjunct Pluto. Now, this is more powerful again for us than it is for others because we are ruled by Pluto. Love is astoundingly important, period, end of discussion. Scorpio, we might not always feel comfortable sharing our emotions with everybody, but this is a time where our heart needs to be seen, our heart needs to move forward, and we need to embrace the vibrational energy of love. If we don't, we're actually going to feel like this day was a waste, which sounds terrible to say about Christmas, but we're just not going to feel like we have the passion or the heart for it. So making sure that we set time for us to connect with our hearts, to connect with what we love, that's going to be a game changer. We also have Mars conjunct Chiron on the 25th of December, which is very interesting because we have the fiery intensity of Mars and the wounded warrior of Chiron, which makes us a bit aggressive in saying, I love you. It's kind of like, I'm going to take care of you. Don't worry, I got all of this. And we're going to be a bit aggressive, everybody is, with the way that we show our love. So just kind of stepping back from that energy, embracing that passion that we have, but also knowing that things can come a little bit slower, a little bit gentler, it'll be okay. That's going to be very important. On the 26th of December, Mercury is sextile Neptune. Now, this alignment makes us extremely sensitive to the world around us. It can also bring powerful psychic revelations. There we go, not revolutions, revelations. For some, it might be a revolution, but I hope not. Here, we need to be kind to ourselves. We need to listen to our instincts and our intuition. We need to see the way that we're being driven forward, what it is that we really want from our lives. That becomes a game changer. On the 27th of December, Jupiter is squared the North Lunar Node. Now, with Jupiter squared the North Lunar Node, again, amplified because of the Sagittarius energy here, just as, oh goodness, Mars is amplified because of the Aries energy here. So on the 25th of December, that Mars conjunct Chiron, we are aggressively saying, I love you to everybody. We just need to be aware that we can be a little bit intense, okay? So just be aware of that, especially in the public arena when we're connecting with everybody. On the 27th of December, we have Jupiter squared the North Lunar Node, which is known as a philosophical time, meaning that we're questioning and looking and discovering, and that's going to be really important to us. On the 29th of December, we have the Sun squared Chiron. Now, this alignment has us passionate and intense, because of the Sun, but also with the wounded warrior of Chiron, we want to fix other people's pain. We want to heal others. And so we're very, very aware of suffering. It can actually become a little bit overwhelming. So just be aware of this. On the 29th of December, we have Mercury conjunct Venus. Now, this is a loving, refined, and honest time. Now, be it, it's also on the 29th of December. So we have that overly caring energy coming forward. We really feel the earth and its people much more than usual. So just be aware of that. Also on the 29th of December, with Mercury conjunct Venus, this is loving, this is refined, this is honest energy, and a loving, refined, honest time. We can be passive and a bit submissive. So just understanding here that if it's not a big deal, we're going to be like, it's not a big deal. I don't need to worry about it. But what we're going to see here is that when it comes to our hearts, we just need to be a little bit tuned in and tuned into our emotions. Just, if it's not a big deal, we don't need to make a fight over anything. That's great. But just know that we might let certain things slide that we don't want to. So just be aware of that. On the 29th of December, Jupiter is also entering into Pisces. Now, Jupiter and Pisces have a lot in common. They're both astoundingly spiritual energies and planetary alignments. They both signify growth, and they both bring wisdom. We're also going to find that the Piscean energy is increasing during this time, and so love is astoundingly important, and being compassionate and also self-sacrificing are going to be important for us. There is this tendency, of course, because of the Sun squared Chiron, again, that we will have a tendency to be overly self-sacrificing, so just be aware of that. Be mindful of our energy, be mindful of our hearts, because with Jupiter entering into Pisces, again on the 29th of December, our psychic gifts are growing. The last half of December, we really do find ourselves stepping into ourselves more and more psychically. On the 30th of December, Mercury is conjunct Pluto, again amplified because we are ruled by Pluto. This alignment has us being powerful and intelligent and intensely curious. We are going to be astoundingly intense, just astoundingly intense, and have this really unique way of talking. Everybody is, so just be aware of that. But people are going to listen to us because we're going to be speaking a little bit differently. It doesn't mean that there has to be anything different about what we're saying, but the energy around it is going to be something that people take pause about. Also on the 30th of December, we have Mars, which again amplified because of the Emperor energy, sextile Saturn. Now with Mars sextile Saturn, this makes us very driven and very, very focused. Yet people are going to see us as being astoundingly calm and casual about things because we're like ducks. Everybody's going to be like a duck on the 30th of December, where you're going along really smooth, really well, right? And all people see is the top of the duck. Underneath, we're paddling like crazy. People aren't going to have the sympathy because they don't see it. And also, people know what they're going through, and they're going to have sympathy for themselves, not us. So just be aware of that. We're going to be able to go after our goals. We're going to be able to get what we want. And we're going to be astoundingly focused on how we're opening up the doors to who we are. So just be aware of this. Now, for the whole month of December, Lilith is direct and is in Gemini. What this means is that we're astoundingly good at talking. We can kind of talk our way out of anything if we want to. But we're also going to have a tendency to smooth over things. We're going to have a tendency to put a positive spin on things that maybe don't deserve a positive spin. So just be mindful kind of what we're sweeping under the rug during this time. The Magician, as above, so below, as we believe it, so it becomes. And that's what we're really embracing here. We're embracing standing before the altar of our existence. We're embracing our, kind of our gifts that we were born with, our talents, our passions, our prosperity. And we might be saying, Dane, I don't have any of these. And Spirit's saying, yes, you do. We just tend to look at things in one specific way. We tend to put our whole world in a box and say, this is how I need to define you. This is how I need to categorize you. This box has all the papers in it, and I'm able to pull things out as needed. When people go against the box, go against other people's labels or other people's way of seeing things, it makes it harder. It makes it harder because people don't know where to place us. What we're going to be finding here is that as we stand before the altar of our existence, as we embrace the magic of our hearts, we are passionate, we are determined, we are focused, and we are more alive. We are more than we have ever imagined. And it brings us to the star. It brings us to our wishes coming forward. It brings us to our dreams being realized. It also brings us to God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, hearing our dreams, hearing what we desire, hearing our passions. And these aren't the cross your finger, oh, I wish for. These are the deep dreams and desires of our heart and of our soul. It brings us to the world. We're going to start to see that at our root, we're determined, right? We're shattering comfortable foundations. We're saying there's more here. And then the world opens to us. The world opens to us and says, yes, there is. Where do you want to stand? What do you want to be? It doesn't mean that we can be anything. It doesn't mean that if we, never baked in our whole entire life, but the first time we start baking, we're going to be expert bakers and open up a shop. What it means is that it's saying, what does your soul need? Where do you want to stand in this world? What do you want to stand for? What do you desire? What are you passionate about? And so here the heart opens. Here our world opens to us. And we start to see where we need to be within our emotions, within ourselves, within our world. It's claiming our own little part of this world and being astounded by what that means for us. It brings us to the Knight of Cups. It brings us to being warriors for what we love. It brings us to moving forward steadfastly and honestly against any storm, against anything that comes our way. We call ourselves out, okay? And we call ourselves forward. We say, this is what I love, this is what I want, this is what I need for my life, and this is how I'm moving forward. It really brings us to this place where we look at all the doubts and all the fears and all the chaos that we have, and we say, okay, this can ruin me, because people live their whole lives in the Eight of Swords, and it ruins them. It makes them depressed. It brings anxiety. We can't ever get to the place that we want to be. And what Spirit is saying here, life is hard. Life is challenging. It's that beautiful quote from Katharine Hepburn, living is the hardest thing you'll ever do. After all, it kills you. I love how irreverently blunt it is about something so intensely serious. Here, with the Eight of Swords, we're going to find that we need to look at things and say it could all fall apart. But I'm not going to live in the what if it all falls apart. I'm going to look at things and see my passion and see my determination and not stay silent and stay still because somebody told me to. It brings us to being a student of our heart and of what we desire, but also embracing being a student, embracing what we love, embracing, jumping out of where we thought we would have to be, stuck in, we're not being confined. And we're going to see that the most surprising things come our way when we start taking a chance on ourselves, when we start loving ourselves, when we start remembering that we matter. And it brings us to balance. It brings us to greater understanding and healing. It brings us to the subconscious and the conscious coming together, the waking and the sleeping coming together. And as we do so, it brings us to us. In the public arena, we're going to want things to be balanced. We're going to want things to be fair. And yet, we're going to need to harmonize our hearts and our souls and what we desire, and not be so worried about everybody else. We need to focus on us, which sounds selfish here, Scorpio, but it's not. It's like, where's the balance for me? Where's the harmony of me? Can I find my peace? Can I find my awakening? Can I find my understanding? What is right for me? And we might be looking towards divinity, and we might have a little bit of a problem with the abstraction of it all. So be kind to ourselves. If we need at times to look at a tree and say, I can believe in a tree. Can I believe in human beings' everlasting goodness when we see so much evil in the world? Maybe we're having trouble with that. We have to be kind to ourselves during this time as we bring the harmonizing power forward. Believe in the trees. Believe in the water that quenches our thirst and the earth that provides us food. Believe in the sustainability of who we are and what we love and our connection with the earth. And see how that grows. See how that becomes. See the harmony that brings us forward. Temper our tempers. Cool down the flames. And look at things with openness and honesty and powerful intention. It brings us to the Emperor. It brings us to claiming a throne we didn't know we lost. Claiming a voice we didn't know was silenced. Because this is our right. This is our birthright. And as we see this throne, as we see our power, we see ourselves more and more. As we honor this and honor ourselves, we transform. We are absolutely transformed. And we are more powerful than we realized. It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. It's the King of Swords. Be mindful of the person who twists our words and says it can only be facts. It can only be a certain way. Be mindful of the person who has silken golden words and nothing to follow through on it. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is peace. Our crown chakra. We need to be crowned with peace at this time, Scorpio. We need to see the peace that we want within our world and move it forward to who we are. Peace, harmony during this time, balance and dreams. As we embrace our magic, as we embrace our passion, as we see ourselves becoming more than we ever imagined. That's going to be it's going to be so life-changing. It brings us to our subconscious rooted energy, which is the lovers, which is Gemini energy coming forward. It's falling in love with our lives. It's falling in love with ourselves. It's the sacred masculine and sacred feminine aspects of us coming forward. And it's saying, I love you and I see you. It's being blessed and guided. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And that is the Chariot. It's Cancer energy. That is the force that moves us forward. That is determination and focus. That's the subconscious and the conscious coming together. In our inner selves, we are opening up a door we didn't know was locked. It brings us to our subconscious emotional self. And that's Temperance. Again, that's Sagittarius energy. The temperance, the balance, the going deeper and deeper. What do I need? What do I want? What is right for me? What isn't right for me? How do I move forward? It moves us to our subconscious public arena self. And it's the Four of Wands. It's celebration and success. It's beauty and brilliance. It's new opportunities coming. It's learning how to dance, how to celebrate, how to laugh, how to embrace joy when it seems so easy to lose it. This could be, a new house. This could be a new job. This could be, new opportunities opening up and being like, oh my gosh, I'm so surprised. But this can also be starting to look at ourselves. And again, seeing that magic that lays before us, seeing that intensity that is a part of us as we're standing before the altar of our existence, as we're saying, I matter and I count. And we're changing the game. And as we're changing the game, we're celebrating who we are and we're celebrating our way forward. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio.